You are not defined by your circumstances, but by your vibrational frequency. The irony is you're pure energy, constantly in motion, yet you feel trapped. Most people try to change their lives without altering their vibration. It's like trying to find a different radio station without turning the dial. How many times have you wished for a different future, only to wake up with the same old thoughts? You're not looking through the right lens. In the mirror, you see a body, an appearance, maybe a history of setbacks and frustrations. But your essence is energy, pure, continuously vibrating energy. The truth is, you vibrate so intensely at such a high frequency that it can feel like you're standing still, but you're not. If we used an infrared camera or a Kirlian photography setup, which captures the energy emanating from your body, you'd see it. A radiant, brilliant, vibrant form. Literally, this changes everything. Because as energy you can change, and if you change, your life changes. But people ignore this. They believe their problems, debt, broken relationships, past mistakes, define them. Ever notice how everyone says, "That's just who I am"? But who says you're static? You're a frequency, and frequencies shift. Most people try to change the outcome without changing the frequency, like trying to hear a different song without changing the station. Does it work? Nope. You need to change the station, the frequency. And frequency is a consistent emotional state, an uninterrupted mental pattern. Ever woken up on a terrible day, with everything seeming to go wrong? Slow traffic, spilled coffee, a screaming client. That's because your frequency was negative, emitting waves that attract more negativity. The universe doesn't respond to what you say, but to what you vibrate. Accept this. Your reality is a consequence of your dominant vibration, thought combined with emotion. Vibrate scarcity, you attract scarcity, doubt, and you'll find more reasons to doubt. But nurture thoughts of confidence, gratitude, and abundance, and the world transforms. I didn't understand this by reading, but by seeing. At a seminar, the instructor used a special camera to show people's energy. A man beside me looked exhausted, tense, withdrawn. On the screen, his energy was faint, dull. Then an inspiring idea sparked his eyes and everything shifted. The image around him pulsed, radiated light. Right then I understood. Reality changes with frequency. But you might think, I'm stuck. I want to change. But I can't. You know why? Because you're operating with the same thoughts, feeding limiting beliefs. I wasn't born for this. This isn't for me. I'm not talented. These aren't truths. They're frequencies. And you can change them. Ever walked into a room and felt a heavy atmosphere, even without anyone saying anything? Vibration. Ever met someone who always seems happy, attracting good things? Vibration. So what works? Stop for a few minutes and shift your internal state. Close your eyes and imagine your life flowing. How would you feel without financial worries? Free, loved, respected. Imagine it so vividly that you feel it physically. Your breathing changes, your posture changes. You're changing your frequency. Do this daily, and it alters your physical reality. It's not magic, it's physics. The world responds to what you project, but to project something new, you need to feel it first. You don't attract a better life by waiting to feel good after everything improves. You need to feel good beforehand. That's how you shift the frequency. You might think, how can I feel good surrounded by problems? The answer is, choose. Focus on what you have, however small. Be grateful. Visualize your desired life daily. Hold that state for 5 minutes, then 10 an hour, until it becomes your new normal. The problem isn't a lack of technique, but of persistence, until the new frequency is established. The more you repeat it, the more natural it becomes. Suddenly, the right encounters happen, doors open. You'll look back and think, how did that happen? You changed your frequency. It all starts there. You don't change your life by changing the world, but by changing your inside. The world adapts. When you imagine something clearly, it's not a random thought, it's a place, a state of consciousness, a frequency. But most people make the same mistake. They see an inspiring idea, a desire, and immediately dismiss it. Too good to be true. I could never do that. Have you done this? had a creative impulse, an idea that moved you, but dismissed it because you didn't know how to achieve it. That's the crucial error. The how isn't your responsibility at first. It's a construction revealed after you decide to go for it. When a clear image arises in your mind, it's because you've tuned into a new frequency. You captured it. You didn't create or invent it. You captured it. A liberating truth. Nothing is created or destroyed. Everything already exists in potential. What you desire already exists, but at a different frequency than yours. Most people are limited by what they see. I don't have that. No one will help me. It's impossible. But if you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your hands. You just need to hold that image with faith, emotion, and repetition. I've seen this countless times. People who started with nothing, acting as if they were already where they wanted to be. They didn't know how they'd get there, but they held the vision. Know the story of Wernher von Braun? He told John Kennedy that getting a man to the moon wasn't about technology, but about the will to do it. When you decide on something, truly decide, the universe moves in your favor. The path appears, connections emerge, ideas come, resources reveal themselves. But it all begins after the decision. You might say, I've decided before and nothing happened. Did you decide or wish? True decision involves commitment. You don't just want it, you act as if it's inevitable. When visualizing a destination, don't see it as something external. Live from it, from the inside out, as if you were already there. That's the secret of the creative mind. The frequency you maintain creates the reality you live. You don't wait to have to be, you are, and then you have. I remember being financially struggling in a small Toronto apartment with debts exceeding my income. I saw wealthy people and thought, will I ever get there? A thought arose powerfully. What if I started behaving like someone who has already arrived? Not financially, but mentally. I acted differently, studied the mindset of successful people, surrounded myself with those with clear goals and read voraciously. And gradually my reality shifted. You don't need to understand every step, just the direction. Keep the image in focus. Imagine a future you who has conquered everything. Overcome fears, freed yourself, lives in peace, abundance, freedom. Imagine this future version communicating, sending signals, intuitions, visions. That image in your mind isn't chance, it's a call. If you don't respond, it fades. How many times have you ignored an incredible idea and then later saw someone else achieving something similar? You tuned in but didn't stay on the frequency. Nothing is more painful than living below your potential. I'm not here to judge, but to remind you that you can still achieve it. Age, bank account, history. If the idea came, it's because you're capable. Believe before you see, because believing makes you see. Don't try to connect the dots prematurely. As Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backward, but trust that, by keeping the vision alive, the dots will connect. Confidence is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the dream and the achievement. From today, see your life as it will be, not as it is. Decide to maintain that image, even if it seems impossible, even if others doubt you. The only doubt that matters is yours. If you believe, you've arrived. And upon arrival, you'll see that you could have arrived much sooner because the place already existed. You just needed to be on the right frequency. When you decide on a true change, one that shakes structures, alters your course and disrupts, you'll discover something no one told you. Your first enemy is yourself. You'll hear a subtle, persistent voice. This is crazy. You don't have the money. Who do you think you are, as you can't stay focused? And the most dangerous thing is that this voice speaks with your voice, knows your weaknesses, insecurities, pains. It doesn't shout. It whispers, appearing when you're alone. This is your paradigm. A mental program, beliefs, habits, patterns installed since childhood. You didn't choose them, but now they act like landlords. Every time you try to break the pattern, it rises up and fights with fear, doubt, sabotage. Ever felt sudden anxiety when thinking of something different? Inexplicable internal pressure when taking a step towards your dream? That's the paradigm in action. It doesn't want you to change because it was designed to keep you safe, even if your safety is a limited life. It doesn't know this, it just repeats. By thinking differently, acting differently, wanting differently, your internal system goes on high alert and you fight against yourself. And here's the key. This is normal, expected, necessary. You're not wrong for feeling fear. You're growing. The problem isn't feeling fear, but believing it's a signal to stop. It's not. It's a sign that you're moving away from your old self, and the old self is afraid of dying. I remember perfectly when I left my stable job at a funeral home. It paid the bills, but I felt a constant emptiness. When I left, I was called irresponsible. Some laughed, but the worst voice came from within. You'll fail, you'll starve, no one will take you seriously. Even so, I went, with fear, with doubt, but I went, because I understood that fear was the gate, not the wall. Most people wait for fear to pass to act, but fear only passes after you act. And by acting, you realize that fear was just smoke. Look within, acknowledge the paradigm and speak to it, aloud if necessary. Say, I know you're there, but I'm not going to let you control me anymore. Take command, don't fight, replace. The real work begins. Replacing the old pattern with a new one. Take the thought of defeat and replace it. I am capable. I am learning. I am becoming what I desire. It won't be comfortable. Your entire system will resist. But it's not in comfort that the new self is born. It doesn't matter how many books you read, courses you take, or lectures you attend. If you don't have this internal confrontation, nothing changes. You might have moments of motivation, but you'll revert to old patterns like a rubber band. How many times have you started something new and returned to square one? The most important point: confront the internal chaos consciously. This discomfort is part of the process, not the end, but the beginning. It's like an imposter trying to convince you that you weren't born for success, but it only survives in the darkness. By observing, questioning, clearly stating what you want, it weakens. What would happen if you didn't give up next time? If you continued, even with fear? If you chose to trust who you want to become, not who you were? This choice separates those who achieve from those who only desire. It's not talent or money, it's the willingness to confront yourself. The reward is indescribable, because you gain not only the objective, but the freedom to be who you truly are. To change your life, it's not enough to think differently. You need to act as if you are already who you desire to be. Most people fail because they wait to have before they are. But it's the opposite. First you are, then the universe responds with what you want to have. Want abundance? Stop acting like someone who lives in scarcity. Want a healthy relationship? Stop behaving like someone who expects the other person to fix your wounds. Want success? Stop doubting your abilities. Action reflects identity. Until you change how you see yourself, you'll continue behaving the same way, even if you change cities, jobs, partners, or clothes. William James called this the actor's technique. Acting as if you already are. I'm not saying to pretend, but to assume the identity of what you've decided to be. By changing your posture, your way of walking, speaking, looking, the world responds differently, and external circumstances align with your internal frequency. Ever noticed how some people have an energy that opens doors even before they speak? It's not charm or marketing, it's frequency. They place themselves in the world as if they already are. The crucial point: you don't need to wait for the desire to manifest to feel ready. You need to feel ready for the desire to manifest. It's like building a house first in your mind, inhabiting it from within, and only then do the bricks stack on the outside. But here comes the question that destroys dreams. What if I fail? What if it goes wrong? What if they laugh at me? What if it works? What if everything you want is already waiting, but you're late because you're acting like the old version of yourself? You don't need to change everything at once, but start living as if, even if it feels uncomfortable, because it will. Your body will resist, the environment might criticize, but continue. Each decision aligned with your future self is a vote in favor of your new identity. When I started teaching this, many said, "It seems theatrical, not real." And I said, exactly. Your current life is also an act, only it repeats the same script for years. It's time to write a new role. Act as if it's inevitable. When Steve Jobs visualized a product, he saw it ready. He treated the idea as real, before there was evidence. And when they said this can't be done, he replied, it's already done, you just need to find the way. This is living from the inside out, operating from the desired state, not waiting for the external signal. You become the signal. But there's something no one tells you. In the beginning, it's lonely because no one else sees or feels what you feel. You'll seem exaggerated, deluded, arrogant. But the price of changing frequency is this. You'll seem strange to those living at low frequencies. Distance yourself from the noise. Surround yourself with silence, visualizations, affirmations. Build this new state daily with intention. Ever seen Olympic athletes train? They don't wait for the podium to feel like winners. They feel like winners before the competition. They live the medal before winning it, which is why many win it, because it was already real inside. The secret that changes everything. You don't create the future by living in the past. You create the future by acting in the present as if it has already arrived. When that happens, when you live from this new identity, even without seeing results, you'll notice something extraordinary. People will treat you differently. Impossible opportunities will appear, and reality will bend to your new internal state. One day, you'll look around, and everything that seemed distant will be before you. Don't just wish for it. Live as if you already have it and watch the universe realign itself. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Your core being is shaped by the energy you put out, your thoughts, actions, and feelings. Shift your frequency, and everything shifts with it. So you get it? Awesome. Now let's take this to the next level. The video you see on screen will dive deeper. It's a small step, but it's a powerful one that will make a world of difference. Thanks for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one.